talk about the physical and mental pain I had after my miscarriage. So, this is after you have passed out all the tissues or after surgery and you have been discharged. So, it can take about 1 to 2 months for your body to heal after a miscarriage and for your body to recover. So, some of my symptoms lasted a month and others lasted more than that. When the anesthesia was worn off, I started feeling numerous pain. I had hip pain already during the pregnancy, but after the miscarriage, I still felt the hip pain and also back pain. So my hands were sore from injection or, anywhere that they put needles. I had abdominal pain, so, cramps, and even the pain I had initially when I came to the hospital. And I was just sore, all over. And I was also very tired and weak from low blood count. So I lost a lot of blood, during the whole miscarriage process. And I got 2 pints of blood transfusion. And they also gave me iron tablets, and I took it for a month. It's called ferrous sulfate. But still, I was extremely tired. I did my 1 month blood work, so you have to do like a checkup after a month just to see where your levels are. So I did the 1 month blood review, and the doctor was concerned about my low blood count. She said that I was still anemic and I needed to continue taking the iron tablet for another month. So I had another blood work done. So this lasted for about 2 months. So another symptom that I had, it happened during the miscarriage and continued even after. So it was switching. So at first, one eye was switching, then both eyes, started switching. So it got to a point where I felt my head ticking, or rather clicking, and my eyes and inside my head at first, they started tweaking and ticking, and that led to the next thing I had was, constant migraine. So after a few days, I developed severe migraine. But then the migraine, was every day and non-stop. So it was morning, afternoon, evening, and there was no warning signs at all. And it was the worst. I felt like I was losing my mind, and there was nothing that was like no painkiller was working for it. And I tried different painkillers. I tried, when you use headache patches, I tried those, but it wasn't working, and it was just getting worse. And it's almost it was like a month, and after a month I was still having the severe migraine, and it was every day and nonstop. I read online, that the migraine could be as a result of, maybe the hormones, a drop in hormones, and it could. It gets worse actually before it can get better. And I contacted my GP, and they prescribed what's the name of the medication? Somatriptan. Yeah, somatriptan, and I took it, but I couldn't tell if the medication was working, but I still took it, and to make it worse, I started getting toothache. So my guess is that the migraine was causing the toothache. After surgery, I was given ferrous sulfate to help with my low blood count. The only thing is I suffered severe constipation from the ferrous sulfate, and this will bring me to the next physical pain I had, which was, constipation. In fact, the constipation did not make it any better. So I had piles, and another name for piles is called hemorrhoids. So I had both internal and external piles, and it was really bad, and I was really in pain. So it was really painful, but um, when I was walking, coughing, sneezing, or even moving at all, I was in pain and I could hardly sit down because of the pain. So, but with this physical pain, you just have to be patient with your body. That's what I'll advise. You have to be patient with your body, and also you have to be patient with yourself. When I went, through it, I wondered if it will ever end. That's the truth, because it was as if it was going on for so long. I wondered if it will ever end. But after a month, it all went away. Not a month. After a few months, it went away. So leaving me with the mental pain, to focus on, which is the next topic we'll be talking about: mental pain after a miscarriage. You cannot put a time scale to mental health, or you know mental pain that you feel, because it takes time. Honestly, it does. I had a lot of flashbacks about everything that happened, and I know it is difficult, but you need to surround yourself with the best support system at this point. And it could be your husband, your family, your friend, you know, getting a good therapist. And I would definitely recommend speaking with a therapist. I also had to speak with a therapist, and she was really helpful. So I've had panic attacks, and I struggled with anxiety. I was crying every day, and it was as if I could not talk about the miscarriage without crying, like without wailing or bursting into tears. And I felt like my heart was completely shattered. I felt like, I felt the pain deep inside. I felt lost. I felt like it was the end of the world, and I had to use my workplace employee assistant program. So I spoke with a professional who assisted me, like a therapist. And so I also took 4 weeks of work. The therapist recommended that I should not rush back into work with her assessments, and she felt that I needed more time off. My husband also felt the same, but I just did not listen. I felt like I could handle it, so I went back to work. Um, but I suffered with anxiety. There was like constant anxiety, and I had a major panic attack. So I'm just going to tell you, please take as much time as you need. The panic attack I had was frightening, and I had no control over anything. I was so scared, and after the episode, I had to, take more time off work. So I'll advise you to, be very kind to yourself and don't push it. And also take as much time off as you need, and don't feel pressured because of work. You also have to think about yourself first, because you matter. You have to think about yourself first. So let's say if anything happens to you, your employer or your colleagues, they will be sad, yes, but life will move on and the business will move on. So you have to think about yourself first. I'll encourage you to, read on the Miscarriage Association website. So I went on the website and it was really helpful for me. You can, they have a lot of help out there, and you can chat with someone about how you feel, and you can read about other people's story, and just it helps you not to feel like you are alone when you read about what other people have gone through, because with miscarriage it's different stories. It can be different for different people. So you can also read different stories on miscarriages, stillbirth, ectopic pregnancies, and just know that you are not alone. Please don't just assume that you are alone. There is always help out there.